is self-hatred. Margaret Sanger created Planned Parenthood in the 1920s to rid America of unwanted black babies. Planned Parenthood, 1920s, the same time that the Garvey movement began to take off. She specifically said herself that Planned Parenthood was designed to eliminate black babies who were becoming a pesticide or appendage on the white economic order. Next slide. Planned Parenthood rarely recommends adoption over abortion to black mothers. The research is clear. When a black woman goes to Planned Parenthood, get rid of it. White woman goes to Planned Parenthood, why don't you think about abortion? Excuse me, why don't you think about adoption? Why is that? And we got to deal with the adoption issue in the black community too, because we are not adopting our children as much as we need to. In fact, you know what? Nobody wants black children. Okay? I work with DHS. Nationally, I know this. The hardest child to get adopted is the black teenager. If they more than 12 years old, you don't want them, the white folks don't want them, nobody wants them. The easiest child to get adopted is an infant. But once a black child hits 14 years old, nobody wants to be bothered with them anymore. So our children are languishing in the system. So everybody in here need to think about adopting one. You ain't got to do it now, but you need to do it eventually. Even I feel like I'm going to need to adopt as well, because nobody's taking our babies. In fact, people of other races who want to adopt, you know what they do? They travel halfway around the world to some remote island, and they'll get a baby before they adopt one right here. And you know what? We do the same thing. We'll go to Pakistan and get one of their kids or something like that, instead of adopting our own kids right here. And it's very, very sick. Next slide. Margaret Sanger said, quote, "The most merciful thing that a large family does to one of its infant members is to kill it." She said, "More children from the fit, less from the unfit. That is the chief aim of birth control." She said, "We do not want the world to go out that we want to exterminate. We don't want the word to go out that we want to exterminate the Negro population." This is her words. I'm giving you her, the mother of Planned Parenthood. And do you know that Planned Parenthood sites are disproportionately located inside or right next to black communities? Did you know that? Nationally. Now, there's more white people than black people. We only, 17% of the entire populace. So how is it that most of the Planned Parenthood sites are within or right next to where we sleep at? Because it was put there for you. But you thought that when they passed the 13th Amendment that everything was fine. Or some of you thought that when the Civil Rights Bill came in 65, you was fine. And some of you thought that the Voting Rights Act in 68 was fine. And then some of y'all think that when Obama came in, he was fine. The marriage bed is the most degenerating influence in the social order, according to Margaret Sanger. Next slide. If your parents are stupid enough to deny you access to birth control and you are under 18, you can get it on your own, called Planned Parenthood. Most states have stripped away the rights that parents have over their children's lives. It's a national movement. Children can make reproductive decisions at 16 in most states. So if your 16-year-old daughter wants to get an abortion and she don't want you to know, she can do it at 16. In most states, a child can get mental health care at 14. If your child wants therapy, if they want to check themselves into a drug and alcohol rehab, they can do it at 14. Okay? This has been going on systematically. It's reducing the true age of adulthood without saying it. And if you want to fool a black person, all you got to do is put it into words, because we don't analyze anything. All we do is take what somebody tell us on TV, magazine, and you run. Okay? Planned Parenthood advertisement, Dallas Observer, January 30th, 1986. This was in there. 1986, that's your lifetime. If your parents are stupid enough to deny you access to birth control and you are under 18, you can get it on your own. Next slide. Margaret Sanger helped develop the abortion pill. Did you know that? The IUD, intrauterine device, and supported a law requiring forced sterilization of women who sought public assistance. Did you know that? Which was law in 38 of the United States. It was never adopted federally. But just because they don't say it in DC doesn't mean any of the 50 states can do it on their own. It's what we call states' rights. Did you know that? Up until the 80s, a significant portion of states in this union, if you got public assistance, you were also sterilized. We thought they were only doing it in Africa and in the Caribbean. It was right here. I'll give you one better. I'll give you one better. Also up until the 1970s in some states in America, if your IQ score, if your intelligence quotient fell within the deficient range, you were also automatically sterilized. Even at my internship, I'm telling these young black boys, you need to understand something. In here, you get away with murder because